Good evening. Okay, we can get started now when we have a quorum.
Time is 6:02 p.m.
All right, we're not going to do the pledge of allegiance. This is a committee meeting, so we're going to do just, I'm going to call this special committee meeting to order now. And Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Here.
Okay. Did Burns or Coleman say that they were going? Okay. All right, well, we'll start with budget review. Who started? Who's reviewing or what? Did someone tell her to come? Can't assume that you all asked her to come. Whoever called the meeting, did you all ask her? Oh, okay. Somebody. No, I'm just saying, but if you didn't ask her to come, why would she come? Oh, okay. So we had a budget review already, and so this is.
We can't hear.
Oh, your mic. Oh. Hey, Trustee Williams, you would say?
Well, now that Trustee Burns is here, I'll let her take, this is her kick off the meeting.
Oh.
But I'll have questions for later. Well, Trustee Burns, you're
Okay, the trustees called the meeting because, of course, we're 10 months behind in our budget. The finance department gave us this budget back in last year, December, and they've had time to review it, look over it, make any changes or anything. We received the budget from our finance department, I don't know, last week. So the trustees has gone through the budget, went over it, we've made our revisions, and so now this is our review, and that's that. And so, because again, we're 10 months behind, we only have another two months left in this year, so we need to get this done.
I have a question for you. You said, because you're on record, you said when did you all meet to go over the budget and make the revision?
No, I'm not sure.
I'm talking about when you said we went over this budget and we made our revision.
No, sir. Like I stated, the Director of Finance gave us this budget last year. Every trustee, including the clerk, including yourself, had access to the budget. Whatever each trustee did on their own is what they did on their own. So everyone had the budget to be able to.
You have what you're doing is, that's my question. Are you coming with a new, or your revisions, or what? Is that printed?
Yes, so I'm going to hand everyone the copy. You already have a copy of the budget, but I am going to, there are copies been made. I don't know, there are copies been made. Can you pass this to the mayor, please? And I'm going to give you guys the copies with that individual revisions. That is correct.
Which one? The one that you're giving me now?
Yes, these are the revisions
Oh, the
from
revisions.
the, yes, from the last budget that we received December 9th, and then
That's what I was
recently.
asking. You said this is a revision. This is a revision of the one that you got, correct?
The one that, yes, from the
Okay,
finance
my
department.
question was, when did you all get a chance to revise this?
What do you mean?
You handed me a revision of the original budget. I'm assuming that's what you're saying, December 20 or whatever it was. So when did you get a chance to revise or have these revisions done? That's what I'm asking. When did you get a chance to do that?
Well, the chance that we got to do it was when everyone gave me their revisions, when
Oh, they
everyone,
gave it to you?
so that we can print it
Okay.
out.
I'm just trying to find out how this was done. Okay.
Yeah. Somebody had to print it out, so.
No, I'm just wondering how did you get them, but you said they all gave them to you.
Yes, and so.
So that means all the trustees,
But I guess these two trustees didn't have any revisions, so I received nothing from them.
Okay, but you did give it to everybody? Hold on
Yeah,
a second, did you give it to everybody?
yes,
And you asked everybody to submit it?
correct. Well, with exception of the clerk has I gave the clerk the information that I got from the finance department, so the clerk is in receipt of that. Everyone else submitted what their changes are and what their thoughts are. That's been put on paper, it's been copied. I did not get any changes from Trustee Carter nor Trustee Johnson. Just like with all of us, it was given to us last year. We were all told to look over it, and if we had any changes, any questions, that we were to do so then. The Trustee Carter, Trustee Johnson, I guess had no questions, no revisions.
So I didn't get anything, I didn't even know about this.
We all got this last year.
No, I'm talking about that you passed out or that you were asking for anything.
Well, the thing of it is that the administration department, the finance department, yourself, and the VA, I guess whomever in that department, made all of their revisions, I suppose, because we got what we got from the director of finance.
Yes, you did.
So I don't know if there's any more revisions from anyone else. She gave us her last revisions. Now, since December 9th, she had no more revisions, so we're going with what she gave us.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's where we are. So does everyone have copies? Okay, great. So what I've done is, according to what I received from the finance department, the paper, the black clip one that you guys have, we're going to look at that one. You keep the one from the finance department on hand, but we're going to look at that one. And the one that's in the paper clip, which is behind the black clip, show everyone everything that was done and made according to what was submitted for change. So you guys have this separately. Everything is double-sided, so you may have to flip the pages. But as you see, if you look at the administrative department, you'll see the numbers that the finance department gave us, which was $428,745. You see the revised number from the trustees, which is.
Okay. Just a second. Which one? Okay, I'm looking at this 428,745.
Yes.
Which one is the revised? The small print?
No. The one that I gave you, the one that you have that was paper with the binding clip.
Okay, that's the one I'm looking at right now, 478,745.
Correct.
Okay, which one is the revised one?
That's the one you're looking at.
Okay.
That's the one from what you have in your hand now is the one from the finance department.
Okay.
So the revised, who did the revised? Is that finance department?
No, that was
That was,
stated. Trustees.
the ones who submitted what they submitted. Correct.
Oh, so you, oh, wait a minute. So basically, what you have here is page 1 of 18, really is on page 4 of 20, is that correct?
From the one that the finance department gave us?
The one that the finance department gave you was that 428,745, right?
That's
For
correct.
the administrative department, correct?
Correct.
Okay, on page 4 of 20, it says administrative department.
That's exactly. If you're going to follow
Okay, so
along
that would be the one.
from
Okay,
the
that's fine.
finance department, correct.
So this one here is the revised. I have to make sure that I write that down. Okay. This is the revised one.
So again, the $428,000 is what the finance department submitted. And on the revised copy that everyone have, the $344,559, those were the changes. You'll see.
So you decreased it
Yes,
by 80,000.
correct. And the one that you received in paper clips will show you exactly what was decreased.
On what page?
You have the paper clip one?
Yeah.
You will see line by line what has been changed. Nothing has been changed except what you see on this page.
Okay, so that's the revised one. That's what I'm saying. You're saying that it shows what has been changed, correct?
Yes,
And that's page 4 of 20, correct?
that is correct.
Okay, where is it shown?
No, I'm sorry, Mayor. The one that's in the paper clip?
Yeah, no. Oh, this one here?
Yes, the paper clip, the third page. The one that's paper clip, you have a paper clip. You have one that's bind, and then behind the binding, you have the paper clip one, the 3 pages. That shows line by line what has been changed. If it's not on this page, nothing else has been touched.
Okay, so, now I'll see now what you have here. I guess it's 2 or 3. I guess this will be 3 or 3. Okay, so the third page.
Correct. As we noted, as we individual trustees noted, that there was a $1.5 million deficit in our budget. Again, we have been told by the treasurer at least 3 times the numbers that we have been getting is incorrect. We cannot verify that, confirm it, nor deny it. We have not seen bank statements. We have not been able to verify any of that, so we're going off of the numbers that we have received.
What it looks here is, correct me if I'm wrong, everybody that certain police you decrease, you do know that the police are under contract.
I know.
So you can't decrease their pay.
The only, again, all police are not under
Which ones are?
under the union.
Which one?
So dealing with chief,
Okay,
the sergeants,
Yes,
and the
they are.
commanders.
yes they are.
Okay, but these the ones that I did decrease, those are the ones that can be.
Sergeants are in the same union that the patrolmen are.
I understand that.
So you
So-
decrease their pay, and you can't.
The ones that have been decreased are able to be decreased.
Okay. And then you decrease their fringe benefits, which you can't do that either. That's been voted on. You can't decrease something that you in contract with.
So, from my understanding, when I spoke with the union,
Oh, you spoke to the
stewardess,
union?
the stewardess,
Oh, you spoke to the who?
so, okay, there's a union stewardess I spoke with concerning the police. There's a union stewardess I spoke with concerning public works, 2.
And they told you that you would decrease their pay.
They didn't tell me I could decrease their pay. They told me what they told me, and I was able to make a decision based on the conversation we had.
Again, you cannot decrease their pay
Okay.
based on the contract.
I will make another call and confirm what discussion we had, but according to that discussion, this is what I was able to do.
And then you decrease the chief's pay by $4,000.
That's not a
Yes,
decrease.
how come
It's not a,
If it's not a decrease, then why is it 137 and then the revised is 133? That's not a decrease?
no.
Oh, okay. My eyes were lying to me. What? Yes, go ahead.
Can't hear you.
The microphone.
Can you turn it on?
Here.
I see here is what the finance department proposes, 137,917 for the police chief. The revised is his current salary. Okay, it's not decreasing his salary, it's just not increasing his salary.
So, because other than that, I'm not sure, are you looking at the same thing we're looking at?
I'm looking at the exact same thing.
Okay,
I'm
so-
trying to figure out.
what I'm trying to say is, what Trustee Burns said earlier, is we have a $1.5 million deficit that we're trying to cure, and the only way we could see doing it is with salaries. And I know that anyone under a contract, their contracts cannot be changed, but if you're saying the sergeants and the commanders are part of the collective bargaining unit, then they cannot be changed, that's true. But everybody who's not under a contract, we're saying that we should either keep their salary the same, and there has been some salary reductions. So we have to work within the money that we have. There's been a few changes, other than
I'm
administration.
Yes, I see a lot of them, but
Right.
I'm just going by where you're at right now.
I just wanted to correct the fact when you said we changed his salary, like we decreased his current salary. No, we're not decreasing his salary. And if you could verify that the commanders and the sergeants are part of the collective bargaining
The
unit.
sergeants are part of the bargaining.
What about the commander?
I don't think so.
Okay, so whatever information, can you verify your information?
Yeah, I will, but
Okay, thank you.
I know the
And then
ones.
you got benefits. Fringe benefits are fringe benefits. You can't decrease, if it was voted on,
Okay,
the contract, you can't change it.
okay, again, there's no decrease. I'm dealing with the same numbers that I was given.
Okay, but if you say there's no decrease, then why is there is a decrease.
So let's go
Don't say it's
to,
not decreased. Yes, it is. If your numbers that you had were one set of numbers, and then now you're revised.
because they had no
They've been
increase, they
decreased.
stayed the same. They stayed the same.
Okay.
There was no decrease, there was no increase. They stayed the same. And the ones that were able to be changed, they were. But other than that, they stayed
And
the
you all
same.
got together and decided to do that. Okay.
No, we did not get
somebody
together.
did. Somebody got together and
No.
these numbers didn't appear on this page. They had to be put on there.
These numbers appear on the page based on the
So
information.
so you just say you're not giving any raises to anybody.
That is correct.
You're not giving any raises to anyone.
That we can't. We don't
Why
have
you
the,
can't?
because we don't have the money in the budget. I mean, how can we give money that we don't have?
Okay, move forward. Okay, go ahead. So these were COLA raises. cost of living.
We don't have the we don't have the money in the budget. We can't give what we don't have.
Okay.
We are negative 1.1 million.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so also, we noticed from the, I noticed definitely from the budget that the MFT, the motor fuel tax, that money is for roads and things of that nature. We want to leave that money where it is for roads and repairs for the MFT. That is not money that should be taken out of the MFT fund to go into the general fund. So MFT is specifically for roads and repairs, and we are in dire need of road repair. So MFT money will stay where it is.
Okay, I understand that this is brand new to you, and you're saying that, but MFT money is anything involving roads. That means if it's labor, you use MFT money for that reason.
So,
if it's for salaries to perform that labor, yes, you can.
So again, MFT money is for roads and repairs. So whomever,
you can't put it in the general fund. Everything goes to the general fund.
well, the bottom line is whatever contract we get, whatever labor is being done for roads and repairs, it will be paid out of that fund. And so we're not disputing that. So whomever is going to do the work, whomever that is, they will get paid with the
But
MFT
you said it
funds.
can't go to the general fund. Where did you get that from?
The MFT has its own account. So whatever.
But it's all part of the general fund.
No, MFT is MFT.
There you go. You keep saying no.
MFT.
I'm trying to figure out how would you know all this?
Because we've been talking about it.
What you're saying is wrong.
No, it's not wrong, because according to the budget that the Director of Finance gave, the MFT has its own line item. So I don't know.
Line item.
Exactly.
It's not general fund.
That's what I'm saying.
No, but I'm saying all money goes to the general fund.
All money
A
does.
line item is a line item.
Again.
There's a difference.
Again, MFT has its own account, just like TIF. They have their own accounts.
One has nothing to do with the other.
So my point is, it can't go into general
One has
either.
nothing to do with the other. TIF has nothing to do with.
But my point of it is that these funds have their own accounts.
Okay.
And whatever we do will be done with that money out of their own accounts.
You're not gonna listen because I'm trying to let you know what you're saying is wrong, but I guess you feel it is right, so. Let's move forward. Let's go on, because I'm looking at all this, and you telling me that I'm not seeing a decrease. You're saying that there is no decrease, but if you have one item or one amount, and then all of a sudden you change that, then you did decrease. But go ahead, because I'm looking at you got some of these things that are $20-some thousand.
What are you referring to?
I'm looking at salaries right now. We haven't gotten past salaries.
Oh, okay.
And I just want to know, why are you changing salaries? But go ahead, you said we don't have the money. Okay.
Right. Okay. So again, everything that needs to be known that individual trustees have submitted is on this form right here. Anything that's not on this form has remained unchanged. So this is the yes, correct. So this is the budget that the trustees is going to submit. I will give the clerk the copy that she would need to do what she needs to do as far as posting the newspaper. She'll have her final copy for that. But this is our final revisions, and these are our numbers for our budget.
Can I ask that question again? Which trustee submitted? You submitted? Did you submit trustee? Okay, and then Trustee Coleman, well, he's not here, so I don't know.
Yes.
Okay, so it's just the four of you?
Yes, that's all. I didn't get submission from anyone else.
I'm just asking.
We're going off of the final budget that the finance director submitted on Monday.
Correct.
And had any other trustee had any changes other than what was submitted to Trustee Burns, it would have been in the addition that was sent by the finance director on Monday. We have not had another budget meeting with changes. The first budget was submitted December 9th. All trustees had the opportunity to make changes between December 9th and now. The budget that we got on Monday had no changes other than police department retro. I specifically asked the finance director, were there any changes to this budget? And she said only police department retro. So knowing that no other changes were made by any other trustees, we all submitted our individual changes to Trustee Burns. Trustee Burns just then compiled this budget with our changes in it. Just for clarity, we did not meet. We submitted individually to Trustee Burns.
Would y'all mail it or what? I mean,
It's called a phone.
How did you not meet?
Telephone.
So who did all the writing?
We submitted our changes to Trustee Burns.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Right.
Yes.
Yes, that's exactly what he's doing.
I'm alluding to the fact that you had a meeting. Yes.
No, we did not.
we did not.
Okay.
Emphatically.
All right.
Emphatically, we did not.
Okay, well, you say you did. I do have okay, when it comes to the salary, I can't see why some of you have $20,000 decrease. So you're saying that it was added an extra $20,000? I'm talking to the VA about the VA salary. Is that it was 108,000? Now you brought it back down to 85. So I have a problem thinking that that's what he got when he first got hired, and that's not true. When he first got hired, he didn't get hired at 85,000.
Do you
So I
recall
don't know
what
where
do you
that, I don't know
recall?
where that came from. Pardon me?
Do you know what he got hired at?
Yeah,
Because
he got hired at 105,000.
okay, because again, I'm going off of the numbers that I have. I'm going off of.
I'm trying to figure out where
right.
you got these from.
And again, when people are hired, no one is giving the trustees the dollar amounts that they're hired.
The trustees got a copy.
No, I did not. I haven't received any dollar amounts from any salaries. If they've gotten increases, if they've gotten raises, the trustees has not been informed. I'm only going off of what I have. So if there's anything different, it has to be submitted. So I'm using what you guys have given me, the department, the finance department, and these, according to this is all I have.
Yep.
When did the board approve $105,000 for the
That's what I'm
VA?
saying. We have not.
Okay.
Because the last person in that position made nowhere near
In
$105,000
what position?
in the VA position, and I want to know when the board approved
The
$105,000
last person in that
salary.
position, I think, that had just VA.
It was 71,000.
No, it was 93 or 94,000. That was
No,
Mr. Williams.
the last person.
Oh, you weren't here when that last person was?
No, well, Mr. Finch, I believe.
No, he was.
No, that was a dual.
Director
He was a
of
dual.
operations.
He was dual, but what the numbers that I had was that he was a director of operations, which is equivalent to the VA.
No.
He was the director of public works, and he was also the treasurer. So he had 3 positions. Is that
Yes.
my understanding?
Yes.
And the director of public works and the director of operations were $71,000 apiece, in addition to, I believe, at that time,
Director of public works was how much?
71,000 for, it was,
Kevin Weller made 90,000.
The dual.
no, the dual, he had,
Oh, no, okay, if you ask me what the dual was, it was
Yes.
140,000.
yeah, no,
Combination.
that's not the numbers I looked at from last.
It was 140,000 for.
No, you have to break them down into their own individual job. He was a director of finance, director of operations, that's 1 job. He was the director of public works, that's 2, and then he was also the treasurer.
Treasurer got paid separate.
Yes.
Yes, they did, but my
No, I said
point,
he got paid separate.
correct. So you have to, there has to be a number for the director of public works, and there's a number for the director of operations.
We didn't combine both like that.
But yes, we did, because that's how the numbers were. And only according to the numbers is how I broke it down. So the last,
No,
the
this
last,
not, I'm not going,
the last-
we can move on, because you're gonna.
the last
you
VA,
keep telling me I
according
don't
to
know
your
what I'm
recollection,
talking
the
about.
last VA was not at
The
$105,000.
mayor said 92.5?
It was 93, I think it was.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, and that was before the director of operations.
The dual. Right.
Exactly. So I'm going off of the last
He was not-
numbers.
Okay.
Mayor, these are the
He
last
was not-
numbers.
He was not he was the public works director, he was not VA at the time.
Mayor, I'm only going with the last set of
But he
numbers.
wasn't VA at the time.
Under that category, that's what those numbers were. So it wasn't a VA at that time, it was called a director of operations. There was no VA. There was something called a director of operations. Now that we just got a VA just now, Mr. Williams, before Mr. Williams, there was no category for VA. It was called director of operations. Now, I wasn't here, this is my first time being here with a VA. I have never been under a VA. When I came, it was called a director of operations. Trustee Williams will have to speak on the last VA.
The last VA is, according to what the mayor said, it was around 93,000.
And that person was?
We're not really supposed to name names, but
Okay,
it
so
was a
you-
person who's no longer here.
Okay, that's
And
my
when he
point.
was no longer here, they created a dual position for another person to do two departments at 71.5 per person.
There you go.
Which is worth 140,000.
No, that's not, no. I know, I don't know
Well,
where y'all get
I'm-
these numbers. There was nothing, never said that it was gonna be 71 per or whatever. That's what you all decided.
It's in the budget.
Because I never seen something that said was 71,000 for this and 71 for that. And that was never said. That part, I don't know where that particular rhetoric came from, but it wasn't.
I'm only dealing with numbers that came out of the
Okay,
finance
but then-
department.
Okay, then my question still remains, that how, and I want to see where you got these numbers to go that far back, even with Director of Finance, to go from 68, you're decreasing that position by 30,000.
Again, we don't have the money in the budget. The
So you're gonna give them
the
30,000 difference?
trustees never approved any raises, any promotions. This has never
Yes,
come.
you did. Yes, you did.
It's never come before the board.
Yes, you did, when you voted on the contracts, yes, you did.
I did not vote on any contract. We never approved any
Oh,
contract.
so Public Works and Police Department, you didn't vote on those contracts?
You're asking me about
Those are
employees.
contracts.
Again, everything on this page has been changed accordingly.
I'm just saying, you never voted on the contracts. Those are contracts, and you cut those contracts.
Okay, yeah, well, we did, we cut another contract, and from my understanding, it has not been recognized that the board cut a contract, or did not renew a contract for the HR
but you
consultant,
have one now.
and yet, that person is still in our village, and yet we did not approve that contract.
you
So
say,
when
you're
you're talking about contracts, that's why I'm getting confused. You want us to do one thing with one set of contracts and not do something with another. If we're going to deal with contracts properly, let's deal with them all properly.
If you want to,
So I'm dealing with the numbers that the finance department gave me.
I'm
Nothing more and
looking at
nothing
what-
less.
This doesn't even make sense, but go right ahead, because I'm looking at what are you trying to do, get people to quit or whatever? Why would you have a person work for less than what they're making now?
Again,
Why would they work for less? Would you work for less money than what you're making?
if I was doing the job, I would never have to get less.
Oh, you just do it for free, right?
No, I would do my job so I can earn my
okay,
pay.
so-
That's what I'm
okay.
saying.
All right. Trustee Williams, what did you?
I'm going to go back to the VA, Mr. Mayor. You said we approved the contract.
Yes.
The board
No,
never
I didn't say you approved
Okay.
the VA's contract.
Okay, good.
Yes, you
Okay.
did. Yes,
I
you did.
Okay.
You said that we
Regardless-
approved
Well,
the
we're not
contract.
going- Okay.
Regardless, we never-
I'm gonna say this now.
That's what you
I'm gonna
said.
say this now. What
Okay.
we're not gonna do is go back and forth and argue.
We're not
We're
arguing.
not going.
It's not.
Okay, but then let's move on with the review.
Well, we gotta make sure we understand where
We
we
gotta
are.
make sure.
He recognized me, so I
Okay, go
want to
ahead.
address that. As far as the VA is concerned, Mr. Mayor, just for clarification, again, we never reviewed or approved a contract for the VA at anything higher than what the previous one before the combo position. And this person has been receiving, you're saying, $105,000 since he was hired in May. That was never approved by the board. That salary that he's been receiving is unapproved. The board sets salaries. So he's been receiving an unapproved salary. So this salary is slightly less. We have 2 months more left in the budget. And yes, we do have to account for the fact that we have a huge deficit that we need to cure. Salaries are the biggest expense in your budget. As far as the next one you were referring to, the Department of Finance, we have to pay two outside consultants to come in and get our financial records straight. We need to the money has to come from somewhere. We have no audit since 2021. We've been waiting 10 months for a budget. So therefore, if we have a director of finance, we cannot pay $95,000 with an increase of what the finance department said to $98,000, and we're not getting what we're asking for. We're asking for the audits, we're asking for the budget, and we're not getting it, so we have to pay outside. We also have an accountant in the budget that's going to receive a raise before they're even hired. So we're keeping that at $65,000 because they've given that person an increase over the salary that's already in the budget, and they haven't even started. We haven't had a director of finance this whole budget, maybe for a couple months. So why are we giving that person a raise? This is what we're saying, Mr. Mayor. And then we have the front desk, which we made from part-time to full-time. They were at $33,280, and now we're trying to give them an increase to $41,600, and only person that's at that position just started a couple months ago, and they're walking in on a $4,000 raise. So more than that even. So what we're saying, it's a $6,000 raise. So what we're saying is we have to legitimately look at these salaries. Our turnabout in the village as far as staff is high. So we're giving salaries increases to people that just started in their positions less than a year ago. I think salaries should be dependent on merit raises, and I said this at the previous budget hearing we had. It should be merit raises, and if you talk about the COLA raises, there was an ordinance that specified about salaries and other fringe benefits. It was ordinance number 22-011, and that was actually repealed by the board. So there's no room for automatic COLA raises. We've gone before. I've been in this board a long time, and we've gone before with no raises. We've gone before where we actually had to eliminate key personnel because we didn't have the money. And there comes a time when you have such a deficit that you need to figure out what it is. And I know we talked about MFT. I know you're trying to stay on administration. But, Mr. Mayor, have we ever used $325,000 from MFT to balance the budget? Because I thought MFT was like for roads, like when an outside firm comes in to do the roads and the streets and whatever. I thought that the MFT, we pay those contracts out of the MFT fund. You're going to use this $325,000 to balance the budget?
No.
It's in there.
It's in there.
It's in there under transfer to balance the budget.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, I don't know where you got to get your information. Okay, well, I don't know where you get your information from. But MFT is a broad spectrum. It is not just for streets. It's anything related to streets. Be it labor, be it equipment, be it gas, anything that's related to repairing the streets, anything in the village, that's what it's used for. So it's not just the balance of budget. Yes, it is. Every income, every revenue you got coming in helps balance the budget. That's revenue. The taxes that you get coming in, that balances the budget. Grants that you get coming in, it balances the budget because it allows you to do X, Y, and Z. So it's not a such thing that, oh, well, you know, we got MFT just stays just for that. You buy salt with MFT, you buy, what do you call it, asphalt with MFT money. Everything that has anything to do with the streets, lights, that comes from MFT.
Doesn't MFT have to have, it's a restricted fund? Doesn't it have to have?
How do you know, trustee? You keep saying yes, it is.
I'm asking.
It's not.
Doesn't
it's restricted
MFT,
to what it needs to be.
Because it's a restricted fund.
Yes.
Is there some place where you have allocated specific salt purchases purchases or asphalt purchases and deducted it from the MFT funds. We're not seeing that.
Oh, okay.
What we're seeing is 10 months into a budget, no budget to actual figures. We don't know where money has come in. We don't know where money has gone to, but we see $325,000 of MFT fund leaving to balance the budget, but we don't see the trail of where the MFT money was spent, Mr. Mayor. That's what we're saying. We can't use $325,000, pull it out of the air to help balance this
MFT
huge
should be
deficit.
more than 325,000. I don't know where that.
No, that's where I think the transfer was 325 or 350,000. But what I'm saying is to you, Mr. Mayor, it's 10 months into the budget.
Yes, it
and
is.
you should be able to tell us if you're going to transfer that much money into the general fund, what was spent from MFT. It's a designated account. There should be an accounting. So if you could show us the accounting of what was spent.
I can't show you anything. They have to go through the finance department.
If the finance
But you guys
department.
come in here all the time and ask and talk to them.
And we don't get our answers, Mr.
Oh,
Mayor.
okay.
No.
We've been asking for, we've been asking for budget to actual figures even before the previous finance director. If you remember, in December of 2022, she couldn't give us budget to actual on that budget.
Okay.
And ever since then, we don't know what's been spent in any of these line items. I feel that I can't trust any of these budgets
Okay.
because even the treasurer sat there and said last year's budget was wrong. Okay, even the treasurer said he doesn't trust this budget. Okay, so if the treasurer doesn't trust it and we're at a deficit, if we don't start cutting things back, we will forever be in a deficit. And we're not getting the right information to see how that we can explain it any other way. So unless I get an accounting from the finance department that shows where the $325,000 was allocated, then as far as I'm concerned, it should still be in the
So
designated
that
fund.
was one of the reasons why I asked the question, what made you decide to cut wages? So that's all I'm saying. So I guess that's an easy fix, to chop somebody's wages down to make up the deficit that you're trying to find or trying to keep. Because I'm looking at all these numbers on the right-hand side of this particular part is how much you cut from each one of these items. So the police department, you cut $11,000. For administration, you cut $159,000. For community development, you cut 14. That is wrong. And from ESDA, you cut 11,000. From fire department, you cut 188,000. I don't understand how you can do that. And you got full-time paramedics.
Well, when we looked at the budget, there are two, I have talked to, or I have emailed Chief Barrett to ask him several questions, but I have not gotten one response. So I have to go off of, again, the budget that I received. In the budget that we received, there's about 27 employees. There are 14 on-call firemen. There are 7 full-time, and then there are 4 part-times. There are 2 slots in there that has been vacant at $65,000 each slot. I wanted to ask Chief Barrett how long the slots have been vacant, how long they've been vacant, what's happening with that, no response. So again, as Trustee Williams has stated, people are coming in with raises, their raises being given into slots and positions that are vacant, all of this.
What's that have to do with the fire department?
The
I'm
fire.
talking about the fire right now. You talking about
Yeah, the fire,
everybody-
no, I'm dealing with the
people coming
fire. In the fire department, there are 2 vacancies.
Right.
$65,000 apiece
Where did you get those from? What,
from the budget.
what positions are you talking about? That's 65,000, that's vacant.
The 2 vacant ones are for firefighters.
Who?
The firefighters.
Okay, I'm asking the question. You see paramedic, firefighter. Okay, so you're saying that we need 2 more?
No, I don't know. We don't need 2 more.
Then
But we're reserving money, $130,000 for 2 firefighters that we don't have. So we don't. If we don't have the firefighters, why do we have the money sit in the budget?
Because, okay, those are EMT positions. They're
And-
full-time.
And we have
And
those.
you have to have a certain staff for that.
And we do.
No, you don't.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do it now. Again,
I'm not-
again, the
Every
trustee,
time I say yes, you say no.
again,
Yes,
again, Mayor,
nobody-
the trustees, since last year, have been asking to meet with the department heads to discuss their budget, to discuss whatever it is that we have questions. Everyone turned those meetings down. Everyone has had this budget since last year. Everyone has had ample time to make their changes, whatever. Now that it's with the trustees, it is with the trustees. Obviously, no one wanted to make change or discuss their budget. And so now it's in our hands. I don't know what else to say about anything. I can't make anyone do anything with these budgets because we gave them an opportunity to do it and they refused.
So you took the opportunity to cut their budget, to cut their,
We didn't take an
to cut
opportunity.
their personnel.
We took an opportunity to try to balance this budget as best we could.
Again, you took the opportunity to cut their salary.
We,
Because what you cut it to is what is less than what they're making. So you make that call that if they're not doing whatever it is, I'm gonna cut your salary.
no,
That's what
we
you just
don't
did.
have the money.
Okay, but you still cut their salaries.
There's things in here cut to balance this budget.
You
Whatever,
still cut their salaries.
whatever we have to do to balance our budget is what we have
By
to
any
do.
means necessary, so if you cut their salaries,
We did what we had to do to try to balance this budget.
did you cut their salaries?
We did whatever we
Did you
need
cut
to.
their salaries?
Did I didn't
I
cut
didn't say
anything.
you.
You keep saying me.
I'm saying, this paper here shows you cut their salary.
This paper here shows,
That you cut their salary.
this paper shows that no one wanted to meet
No, it
with the
doesn't. This paper
trustees,
shows
and so
you
we
cut
had to
their
make,
salary.
we
Ain't
had to
nothing to do
make,
with nobody wanted to meet.
we had to make
It had
informed
nothing to do with
decisions.
nobody, and that said,
The trustees had to make informed decisions off of the numbers that we
You cut
have.
their
And
salary
according
based
to,
on to what you say, you cut the salaries based on,
balancing the
balancing
budget.
the budget.
Correct.
On the backs of the employees.
Listen, trustee,
Because you cut, when I'm looking here.
I
you
didn't
cut-
quit saying you keep saying me
But
like
you
it's
said we.
me. You,
Okay, we
Okay.
cut the
say
salary
the trustees,
based
we could
on
just say the trustees.
$407,000. So they just, I can read numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So you cut their salaries, $407,000 based on the fact that you want to balance the budget. So you're balancing the budget on the employees.
Mayor,
That's what you, it's
Mayor.
here, cut and dry.
Mayor, let me say this.
Okay.
Give us some proper numbers out of the finance department so that we can make proper decisions on things that we need to deal with financially.
Seems like you don't make your-
Until we get numbers that we can confirm, MFT receipts, invoices, whatever, we can only go with what we have. That's
Did
it.
you cut elected officials' salaries too? Did you cut those salaries?
I don't get a salary. I don't know, I can't speak for
Oh,
everyone.
your check don't.
But I don't
you
get a
check?
salary.
You don't get a check?
I know, I don't get a
So
salary.
you're not getting paid for this?
I don't get it. You said salary. I don't get a salary.
You drawing down any money, you getting a salary.
No, I'm not getting a salary. I'm getting a stipend.
You getting a salary.
Yeah, no, I'm getting a stipend, which means that if I don't come to the meeting, I don't get that stipend. But any employee that gets a salary, whether they come to work or not, they still get their paycheck and they still
That's
get their
called an
salary.
employee.
That's my point. So I am not an employee, so I
I'm
don't get a
asking
salary.
you didn't cut, you cut elected, I'm trying to figure out, how did you cut elected officials?
Elected officials are not employees, so I'm not sure what you're asking.
It was 144, now it's 140. That's $4,000.
I'm not sure what you're asking about elected
I'm going to
officials
ask you about this one on this
salaries.
paper. It's
What-
on this paper.
what
It's
are
on
you
this one.
looking
It's
at?
on this one right here.
Oh, you're on a different page.
I'm
No, I'm
going
looking
with
at-
expenditures.
Okay, you're on a different page. Let us be able to keep up. I'm sorry, I can't recognize you.
Y'all really have some good meetings. Go ahead. Yeah.
We have, right,
Okay, you just cell phone, you still can't meet on cell phone.
we don't meet.
I'm trying to answer how did it get lessened? If you can remember, when you look at expenditure.
Use microphone, bro.
Oh, I didn't have one, I had to actual bill.
Yeah, because she, the elected official, she has to explain that one, because we don't get salaries.
Testing. Okay, if you could remember, and if you look at the budget that was presented by the finance director, and that's the one that I'm going on, and I was trying to hold my peace before asking questions relative to those items that were previously in the elected officials that got moved to administration. Specifically, the difference is community events, student government. Really, I'll just say the majority of the items that was under elected officials before, that the village clerk was responsible for implementing, all of those got moved to administration. And I'm certain you probably remember Renee telling us and talking about that before, because I asked that question to, I mean, as I said, student government, special events. There really was like 3 different lines, but I'm only seeing 2 in this budget that Renee presented to us on Monday. So that's some of it. I mean, it's not a whole lot, but I can say that that's a little bit of why the figures change, not only in the budget that Renee presented, but it's likely why it is in the budget that the trustees presented as well. Know that I was never asked for input from the administrative side or the trustee side where elected officials are concerned. But I do know the last time we had a communication, we specifically asked for a uniform, I'm sorry? Okay. Okay. But we definitely asked for a uniform allowance for trustees, and we had some discussion about that. That was a little not 100% pleasant, but we did. And so I'm not certain if and I'm really more so, believe it or not, going off of the budget that was presented to us on Monday by our interim finance department, because in there I saw someplace where she had $1,200 for uniforms. I'm not certain if that is dedicated to the trustees and the elected officials, or is that all of Village Hall? Because if I'm not mistaken, we asked for, I can't remember, it was $300 to $500 per year per trustee for a uniform. So the $1,200 would not take into consideration the entire staff in t-shirts and polo shirts and jackets and all of that.
You still, okay.
I'm sorry?
I'm just listening to how you explained it, that you want uniform.
We agreed to it.
Okay, but you agreed to that, but you want to cut through the salaries. Okay.
Oh, no. Mr. Mayor, where the budget is concerned, that was presented, and I said this to you, and I'm going to appeal to you to hear me and trust me when I say this document here that was passed out tonight, it's the first time that I've seen it. As I said at the very beginning, I was never contacted or asked if I had any input on the budget that the trustees have presented this evening, or the budget that the finance director and your the finance director's budget meetings, and to give me the opportunity, the same as they did the other department heads, That never happened. So I had no input into this budget other than to make that request for uniforms because trustees asked if they could have a uniform allowance.
Okay.
And I did that the night of, so please, sir, don't try to accuse me.
I didn't accuse you of anything, Madam Clerk. No, I did not. No, I asked a question. I didn't accuse you of anything. So you need to get that straight. I didn't accuse you of anything. I asked a question. Well, somebody, okay, but somebody met with someone. But go ahead. Madam Clerk, please. Okay, I'm through.
Right on time.
Trustee Williams, there's no cop out. Every meeting we have, you have to have something to say, and if it's not done the way you want it done, then you want to argue back and forth. Because of what? Look, who are you? Okay, but then I'm through. Then you need to stop. I'm through talking to you. Yes, I'm dismissing. I'm dismissing when it comes to you. Okay, fine. Thank you. Trustee Williams?
Thank you.
Last time.
Okay, thank you. Okay, come on, folks, come on. Can we just get through this? Okay. There's a lot here that we need to get through, folks, and it'd be easier if we just maintain the forum. Come on, guys, point of order.
Don't talk to me.
All right, talk to me. Everybody, please, I got the mic. I got the floor. Talk to me. All right, okay, all right. I'm gonna ask a few questions. Just, things have been, we're jumping from one page to the other.
I do have one question.
Okay.
What is this?
Okay, so what this is only changes.
I'm talking about these.
Okay, hold on. We're working with administration, we're working with salaries.
Right, because I'm seeing different things, that's why I'm asking.
This is just the salaries that changed.
No, I'm talking about all this. This is
Trustee Burns can explain that. Can I go through simply, I have a few questions, and we're jumping back and forth from place to place.
I just want to know which what.
One thing I have a question, and just please, feel free to, I just need to get my questions answered. Does the Police and Fire Commission have a budget?
Police and Fire Commission?
Commission. Do they have a budget?
They have a small budget, yes.
There's nothing, the finance director allowed for nothing.
Okay.
Okay, so that's one thing. And so we need to be mindful of that. And second of all, as far as the elected officials is concerned, I'll buy my own polos, I'll buy my own jackets. No, I'm not going to cut people's salaries and expect the village to buy me any clothes. I know that every department gets clothes. Every time a new person joins, the polos are coming out the wall. I keep seeing all new polos and all new clothes, and I don't know that that's required, but I'll buy my own polos. I'm not going to cut people's salaries and expect the village to buy me anything. And I have bought my own in the past. So no, I'm not expecting a clothing allowance. And third of all, under our committees, it still says our committee money is for food for monthly meetings. I would like to have that removed because we are not using our budgets for food for monthly meetings. We are using our budget to work within the community. And so that should not even be there because the board states.
Where is that at?
Okay, that is in the finance director's budget on page 5.
Okay.
Where our allocation for our committees is listed. It still says...
It's not in your...
No, I'm looking at the finance director's budget right now. And I'm pointing out where her budget needed to be amended. On page 5 of 20,
okay,
it says food for monthly meetings, and we stated before, we need that removed.
So it's not in here?
I'm not sure what's in here because I'm only looking at the things that changed. But in the finance, I'm just pointing out, in the finance director's budget, that needs to be removed. If it isn't here, it needs to be removed. I don't want it to stay that we're spending $1,000 on food for our committee, because we're not. And the other thing I wanted to discuss was getting back to the salaries. I want to reiterate again that nobody in the police department salary has been reduced, but there have been no increases. If in fact any of these positions are part of the collective bargaining or other contract, then we will not and cannot change them. But if they can be stayed the same, then that's what we're trying to do for everybody across the board that does not have a contract or of any kind, collective bargaining or otherwise, because we have to, and we've done this in the past, we have to do something about cutting this budget back. And I said before, the VA salary, he's been here since May, receiving what you say, $105,000, which is actually more than he should have gotten as a starting salary without board approval. And coming into getting a raise, being here less than a year. So that's why his salary has been reduced, because he's already been getting more than he should have gotten without board approval. And we don't have a, you said something about the police chief's contract. I haven't seen a police chief's contract that allocates additional funds. If there is one, I'd like to see that. And if the police chief doesn't have a contract, he should have one to show that he gets a raise, just like the collective bargaining union. But I thought his contract was expired. And if it hasn't, please provide his contract that shows that he's entitled to a raise. As far as the Department of Finance, I've already explained, it's giving her an increase when we have to go out and spend money on outside consultants to fix the finance department that is so far behind. As far as the accountant, that position has never been filled. It needs to be filled so that we can get our finances in order. And as far as the front desk is concerned, that I said that before, it's $33,280, which is what it was at the end of the last budget, and they're coming in on a raise of $41,600 without even being hired. And I don't understand why we need to give raises to a position that's not even been hired. Okay, so this is part of the problem that we're having. And the same thing with the Economic Development Director. It's coming in with a $3,000 raise. Why? We don't even have anybody in that position. And as far as the two paramedics that are vacant, I'd like to know if they've been vacant this entire 10 months or if they're just vacant now. Because if they've been vacant for 10 months, then we can address this in the next budget, which is really only going to be 2 months away from the time this budget is passed. So the reason, I hope I'm explaining things well enough, is the same thing with the treasurer. I believe that he's receiving more without board approval than what we approved the previous treasurer at. All these increases that have been given to these employees or officials without board approval have been given incorrectly. They never should have been given without board approval. I want to see contracts, I want to see dollar amounts, and the board needs to approve all of this. And before I go any further, the same thing with the water department, the director of the water department, he's coming in on a $7,000 raise. He just got hired. I mean, what, a month ago? And he's coming into a $7,000 raise. So I just don't understand. We haven't seen a job performance. We haven't had an evaluation. We don't know whether he's capable of doing the job. I'm not saying anything one way or the other. I don't know the man, and I don't know his performance. But what I'm saying is we're giving raises to people, and we've got an open door policy when it comes to staff. Why are we giving people raises? They're not even in these positions, Mr. Mayor. That's what we're trying to say to you. And I have a question about ESDA, since it's falling under all of this. Do we or do we not have an ESDA department? Because in the budget, there used to be an ESDA director for $9,620, which is what the finance department wants to give the ESDA director. Do we have an ESDA director? Do we have ESDA employees? Because the last time I heard, and without board approval again, the ESDA department was transferred to the fire department. And if it's been transferred to the fire department, why aren't the funds transferred to the fire department as well? Because I don't know that we have an ESDA director that makes $9,620. So that's why this is the way this is, Mr. Mayor. Until we hear otherwise from the finance department yourself and the VA, we can only assume. And what I say is, since if we went 2 months without getting a revised budget from the finance director, it's time we put a budget through to the people. And we just submit the budget as it is, the way it's presented tonight, put it in the paper, get the 10-day review, get the public hearing out here, and within those 10 days, anybody who has a problem, anybody who has a question, they can come to us again when we get ready to approve it. Because we've been dealing with this finance director's budget for 2 months. And the only change she brought to the table was the police retro. And all these people that have been getting these higher salaries without board approval, It's plain wrong. It's bordering on illegal. So you're saying we're cutting their salaries? In some cases, we're giving them an edge for the fact that they've been getting a salary that was never approved. And as far as, I really do believe, Mr. Mayor, that we need to get some people in the finance department, that we won't have to go outside and hire consultants to get our audits done and to get our budgets done. We're 10 months late, Mr. Mayor. And I know you know it because we all know it. And all we're trying to do is get straight. So that's all I'm going to say. I say we just hand this budget over to the clerk the way it is and make the changes that need to be made after it goes out to the public and stuff.
Excuse me.
I'm not going to sit here and brutalize the way I have been doing this situation for 10, 15, 20 minutes without any negativity. It's just so unfair. You know, it's just so unfair. They are treating those totally unfair.
Hey, can you use the microphone? We can't hear you back here.
Are you sure? Okay. First of all, if you want to hand or put this budget that you have right here in play, then you're asking people to work for less money than what they're getting paid now. And you're asking, because you're looking at cutting some of these salaries and you're 10 months into it, so therefore they may owe us money. Based on what you feel, or what you guys feel, that they should or should not make. When it comes to the VA, the reason why the VA's money is the way that he's not getting any benefits. We did this before with the fire chief. He got more because he's not getting benefits. So this person is not getting any benefits. He doesn't get any days off or sick time or anything like that. He doesn't get any benefits. I said benefits. He doesn't get what do you call it? Vacation, not vacation.
Does he get deducted when he takes vacation?
Benefits, I'm talking about benefits, health benefits. He doesn't get any health benefits. He opted out of that. So he's not on the health department. He opted out. He can do that. We can't. He can opt out on it. And you did that for, it was another person that we did it for. It was the fire chief at the time. So that's just one. But if you want to, and you want to present this, because there's a lot of discrepancies, and as far as the ESDA is concerned, no, there is not an ESDA director. The fire chief is, ESDA is under the fire department now, so ESDA doesn't need a director. But they do have two ESDA personnel. So there are two people that they're still working ESDA, and they're dispatched out of the fire department.
So we should remove the 9620 for the ESDA director?
Yes.
The fire chief's not getting that stipend.
Pardon me?
The fire chief's not getting that stipend for 9620. Nobody's getting it. So that should be removed from the budget.
Well, I see you cut his salary too, so. But
No, sir, we're not cutting salaries, we're not giving raises.
If you have one price here, and then the price that you have offered is less than, what is that?
That is not raising.
No,
It's not cutting a salary.
It is cutting.
Mr. Mayor, we've done this in the past, and I know you were a trustee when I was the clerk.
Okay, and?
We have reduced salaries, and we have done exactly what's happening right now. There has to be some way to reduce this
So
budget.
you reduced the salary, and you reduced all this here about $407,000. I don't know
So
where.
if you're telling me that the VA, his salary was because he's not getting the benefits?
That's the reason why his salary.
So his $105,000 was because he wasn't getting benefits?
105, yes. It's because of what?
He wasn't getting the benefits?
Yes, he's not getting health and welfare.
Again, I'm sorry, can I speak now? Are you done?
Wait a minute, can I finish? I'm just trying, you asked me these questions, I was trying to go down the list and try to explain them to you. The community development director, there's a company that does that now. Okay. You have to pay them something. I don't know what you pay.
But that is, if I'm not mistaken, at Southland, they were 55, right?
Trustee, I understand how you may feel how meetings go, but you just can't jump in because I'm trying to answer this question, and you just jump in and say, I'm gonna ask you this and say that.
No.
So we're still with me then, right?
Are you
I'm
still?
still trying to finish what you
The
asked.
$55,000 for Southland Development is under professional development. So if you, like you just said, we don't have anybody in that position, we hired a company for $55,000. That's under professional development.
Yes.
So why do we have a $68,135 position with overtime? I don't know who's getting
Okay, well,
overtime.
we have to look into that.
Yes, sir. That's
Okay,
exactly
that's
what
no
I'm saying,
problem.
sir. So if we were to submit this budget just for the purpose of
I know
getting
it's
it
funny
off,
to you. I know it is.
Mr. Mayor,
But
can you
I-
look at, Mr. Mayor?
But no, but you asked, she asked to be respectful. But then that's okay what they do. No, but it must be, because you can ignore, I'm not.
I just want you to please.
I'm trying to answer questions, I'm trying to answer what you asked.
So, sir, if we can just pass this budget over to get it on the table, I'm sure there's going to be some changes. That's what a 10-day review, not only for the residents, but for the board. That's what the 10-day review is. But until you get it out of the finance department and trustees' hands, we can forever go back.
And that's what I asked is what I asked in the beginning.
What's that?
Where did you get the numbers from? And why did you decrease that much?
We explained that.
What? Well, why did you decrease?
And you countered with the reason why the VA salaries went up.
No, I'm asking the rest of them. I'm not talking about just
Every
me.
single one of those,
Yes.
like we said, why do we have a budget for a finance director when we don't have a finance director? And you said yourself, we don't. And why do we have a budget for a community
I
development?
didn't say we didn't have a finance director. I said, yes, we do have.
No, I'm sorry, did I say finance?
Yeah, you said finance
I'm
director.
sorry.
No.
Why do we have a budget for the ESTA director when we don't have an ESTA director?
You don't, okay.
And why do we have a budget for the director of community development when we have Southland Development budgeted under professional development?
Yeah.
So we don't have a director of community development. And we probably won't because we hired a firm to do that to save this money, but it's still in the budget. So that's why it really needs to be removed. So what I'm saying to you is, and I'm going to go back again with the Department of Finance. Yes, that salary was decreased, but we have to pay probably upwards of $50,000 to $100,000 to straighten out our finances. So yes, that money has to come from somewhere with a budget that's already at a deficit. So what I'm saying, Mr. Mayor, to you, please, if we could pass this budget that the trustees have provided, I know there's going to be some changes. Budgets are paper. I know
Are
that
you
you're going to
saying
have
pass
some
or
changes.
pass along?
I know you. Pass it on to the clerk.
Okay, you said.
Let her do
You
her
said
thing.
pass along, but you said pass.
Pass along to the
Okay.
clerk to let her do her posting, to get it in the hands of the public, and let the public and the trustees and the fire, all the departments that we wanted to meet with originally anyway, let them all have input, and we come back to the table in 10 days. Because we can go back and forth on every single line item, and we're never going to agree. But the trustees are responsible to pass the budget.
But,
We did not
okay,
get a
you're
budget
responsible
for
to
2
pass
months.
the budget.
Right, sir.
But-
We didn't get a budget for 2
But you
months.
still haven't answered
so
my question.
we're
Why
providing a
did
budget.
you all cut this? Because the way I'm looking at it, you said these were the salaries that were put in. And you got some of, and the reason why you just stated that you cut someone's salary $30,000 because you didn't feel that they were qualified to do the job?
Whose salary is cut $30,000?
Director of Finance.
That's not $30,000.
From 68 to 98 is not 30,000? Oh, I'm
I beg
sorry.
your pardon.
I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry. I beg your pardon. That's because she was, I'm sorry. I make a mistake every once in a while. I said I was sorry, Trustee Johnson. So, yes, Trustee Johnson. Then stop, don't laugh at me when I'm
Are we
talking.
going to?
Okay.
If we cannot meet, right?
If I spoke out of turn, okay? So, as I was saying, I apologize for my $30,000 mistake. This is what happens when you go line by line and we get into arguing. There should be no argument right now. We had no budget presented to us for 2 months. The trustees are presenting a budget. You might not like it, I might not like it. There's some things in there I don't approve of. But you know what? I want to get it passed through to the public, and I want to move on.
I guess so.
So let's just do
But
it.
you still haven't answered my question.
What is your question, sir?
Why, who?
The $30,000?
No, when you start cutting people's money, period.
They're saying
No,
cut.
when you start cutting their money less than what they had,
The
I have a
only,
problem
only
with
two
that.
on here.
No, it's not. It's more than two.
No, no, no. You cannot go with what the finance department was going to raise compared to what their current salary is. We're saying not to raise their salary, and you keep saying we're cutting their salary by $30,000. Because we have to pay upwards of $50,000 to $100,000 to get our audits done from 2021, 21, 22, 23, 24, and on and on and on and on, because apparently the finance department cannot do it.
And
So
then-
yes, sir, we are cutting that salary.
Okay. And
Until
then
we
you-
get a
and
person
then
in that
you-
department that can do the job that they were hired to do,
Okay,
they
so-
shouldn't get $98,000.
So the board made that decision.
Yes.
That
That's something we agreed on.
the board made that decision that if they're not, whatever it is that you want from them and not doing that, that you're gonna cut their salary.
Mr. Mayor, if they cannot do the audit,
Or
which
they
was
can't
what
do the audit.
their job is, she refused, she flat out refused, told me and Trustee Burns to our face, I refuse to own this audit. That is part of her job. We need to hire an outside firm to catch up on the audits that should have been
I
done.
guess you do.
Yes, we do.
Because that's why we're in court again.
Exactly.
So
by
that's where
bringing
your
court-
money,
you won't allow
we're in
us.
court twice.
You won't
Because
allow us to bring outside
I'm not gonna let
people in to
anyone
do it.
come in here and change anything in this village.
Well, the people
It's
that
not
are in
gonna
place
happen. I
right
don't
now aren't
care.
doing it.
Well, that's why we're in court.
Okay,
Because
but
I'm not
Mr.
gonna let
Mayor,
someone come in
now
and
you're bringing
change
up a whole
books,
different
change
situation.
audits,
Now
change.
you're bringing up a whole different situation.
No, I'm telling you the
If you feel
truth.
the people that you have hired are competent to get the audit done, where is the audit? Where are the audits? What we're saying is the people in that position, that person in that position is not qualified to give us an audit, or we would have the 2021 audit, the 21-22, the 22-23, and the 23-24 audit done. We don't have that, and we're trying to bring somebody in,
See,
and you're
this is what
fighting
happens
us.
when you all
That's
don't-
why we're
when somebody doesn't ask, because there's a lot of things on here that you still haven't answered the question. You're saying that you're cutting salaries to balance the budget. But
raises to
but
balance the
you're
budget.
No, you're cutting.
Do you want me to go back on the minutes, sir, when
You're
I was the
cutting
clerk, and how many times we've done that?
You-
Because I love to go through my minutes.
You're cutting salaries.
We're not cutting salaries. We've cut 2 salaries, I think.
But that's-
Okay,
that's
and
not true.
you've justified one of them.
I didn't just.
But I'm not going to go back on the cutting the finance director's salary, because I know how much money we have to pay
Because you
to
feel
get it
that way.
fixed.
Because you feel that way.
Yes, because we feel, some of us feel that way.
No, some of us.
We feel like unless we get somebody in office in that position
So
that can do what the
basically,
job description
instead of
says.
firing a person or whatever, you're gonna cut the salary and force them out so they can get less money.
No, the person can stay.
That's what
The
you.
person can stay, but we got to bring outside help in to get the job done.
And work for less.
Tell me
You
where
said-
the audits are, Mr. Mayor, and we won't cut that salary. Tell me where the audits are. Tell me why we don't have a budget after 10 months,
So
and we won't
now-
cut that salary.
This, what is it that you're presenting? This is just these 2 sheets, or is it these 2 sheets along with these sheets?
Yes.
Okay. So then you got other than just salaries. You have other issues. So I guess we're just on salary right now. So I guess we need to go over whatever else that you're cutting, because what's the total amount that you're cutting out of the budget? That's what I'm trying to find out. Where that sheet's at. The total amount. It's just here. General fund deductions of $407,000. $407,000. Where's the rest of the money that you're cutting?
We're not cutting anything other than what's on the sheet.
I'm asking, that's what I'm saying, is that it?
That's it.
I'm just looking on whatever page this is. Total general fund deductions, $407,051.
That's it.
So, $9,341. Okay, so it's $416,000. That's it? So if they can come up with $416,000, you won't have to cut budget? I mean, you won't have to cut wages? I'm just asking a question. I'm asking, that's what I'm asking you, how much are you cutting other than the 416,000? Is there anything else that you're cutting?
Everything else, anything that's not on the sheet remained the same.
You just stated that you're $1 million in the hole.
Well, we just cut the.
So you cut off 416,000. Where you gonna get the
400
other
is-
500,000 from?
You asked where we're gonna get the other 500,000?
Yeah, you said you're $1 million in the hole.
No, we're not anymore, because we just,
So you're 580,000 in the hole. So you're not gonna cut anything to get that, to that point?
let me see. Where's my sheet? Is that 2 or 3? Yes, here it is. Yes, so we have available transfers. And this is
You see a page, Mr. Mayor, that says 2 of 3?
Pardon me?
Do you see a page that says 2 of 3? It says Sauk Village
Yes, I
proposed
do see
budget.
that, yes.
Okay, so if you look in the right-hand column, it says that there's a $1,122,470,000 deficit.
You see,
Okay, and then if you look,
Wait a minute, you said 1,222,000, yes.
yes, okay, and the bottom line at the bottom, that's where it says that that's what our deficit is. Okay, so if you look, and that's when if you were going to, they were going to transfer $325,000 from the NFP fund. If you look at the first column, it says revenue over expenses is $715,420 negative. 100 from the water fund, 100,000. 200,000 from the sewer fund. $500 from amalgamated bank. That's $800,000, which leaves us a positive figure of $84,580. This is the way that this is figured out. This is the budget that the trustees have presented. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of feedback. I know there's going to be corrections that are going to need to be made. But like I said before, Mr. Mayor, we can go back and forth all night. If we could just submit a budget, any budget, right now, because I'm not comfortable with the budget that the finance department provided. So if we present this budget to the clerk and give it the 10-day inspection it requires, we'll come back at the end of the 10-day period and we can go over everything that needs to be possibly amended before we pass it. But this is the bottom line, page 2 of 3. That's taking out the $325,000 for the MFT fund. We did not use that because I don't see any way that we could have used $325,000 in asphalt. And I want to see it. If you can show it to me, Mr. Mayor, I'm fine. I'm easy to work with. Just show it to me.
Yes, there's more than yes.
Okay, just show it. Show me where you spent $325,000.
That's easy.
Okay, well, if it's easy, it shouldn't be a problem to see it on my
Okay.
desk. But that's what it is, Mr. Mayor, right there.
So
We
you're
can pass
saying
this
that,
in.
okay, you 500 from amalgamated, 200 from the sewer department, sewer and water fund. Okay, that's 800,000.
And a lot of that, I think the reason why the fire department is in parentheses is a lot of that is because the fire department is like really highly budgeted. And we know that because I don't even know if we've got any revenue in from any of the ambulance expenses yet. But we're paying out a lot of money for the fire department.
Yes, we are.
Yes, and I don't know that we're getting how much revenue, clearly, how much revenue we're getting to make up for that. So that's another reason why we have a deficit. It's been hard to run that ambulance with all the care. And I think that's why Trustee Burns was saying about the 2 vacant positions. If they're in the budget and they haven't been employed through this whole 10 months, then legitimately, let's remove them.
Okay.
And then when we come back in
Okay,
3 months to do the new budget, we can revisit all of this all over again.
My question, and this is something that you guys can mill that over, however you want to, but, because I'm looking at some of these figures, because I don't see money that's there that we have, it's not even in your figure.
What's that?
there's money that's not even in your figures that we're looking to get.
Looking to
in.
get.
Capital bill money is coming.
But we're looking to get that. And this
Yes.
is 10 months into the budget year.
Well, I'm just saying.
That'll probably go in the next budget. Right? I mean, we're already 10 months in.
Okay, maybe I'm saying it wrong.
Okay.
I'm not looking to decrease anyone's salary at this particular point in time. If we can find the money or the money's there, it may not have been communicated to you that it was there, but if the money's there, they can explain and show that the money's there. I don't see why we need to cut $407,051 if the money's there.
Okay.
And
Well, I'll tell
so
you what,
that's the
Mr.
only thing,
Mayor.
that's the only thing I'm saying.
Okay, so I'll tell you what, like I said, can we pass this budget on to the clerk? And you can come
You
up
can
with a
pass
way.
whatever you want on the
Okay,
board.
okay, and then you can come
The
up.
board can pass whatever.
Right, so
they
you
want.
have 10 days like everybody else. Everybody has 10 days, including us, to look this over again and make changes. And anything that you can show us where you can get $400,000 from.
I'm
so we can
just saying, if
avoid cutting
there's money,
salaries.
because I'm looking at some of these revenues that I know that we have money coming in, but it
But-
hasn't hit yet, so that's another thing. But,
Right, can I ask Mr. Mayor, did we get the $300,000 from the CDBG Fair Housing Grant? Did we get that in-house?
but that money for that CDBG is earmarked.
Okay, that's earmarked. Strong.
That's earmarked, that's
Right.
earmarked for.
So all this money that we got in, that's earmarked, but you just said we got money coming in, capital and whatever. Is it
Capital.
earmarked for anything?
Everything you get coming in is earmarked.
Right, so what I'm saying is, if we have to stick to money that's earmarked, okay?
But some
it
of
has to
that
be used
earmarked
for
money is
specific
for,
things. It will,
as you
it-
already know, there's money
Deducted.
that water department pays salaries for a lot of different departments too.
right, that's why we have the transfers. But what I'm saying to you, Mr. Mayor, is I totally understand that you could do something different. The budget the finance department gave us did not do those things. So if we could move forward and put this budget through to the residents.
Is this what you,
Yes,
I'm
we're
just
gonna move forward.
What is it that you're presenting? Are these 2 pages or these pages?
What, the individual pages, I think what Trustee Burns was doing
That's
was
what I'm asking.
to show what the changes. Right, it's to highlight the
When you put
changes
the
that are
budget out
within
there,
the
put
budget.
everything out there.
It'll be, yes,
Yes.
this is just
That's what I'm
cheat
asking,
sheet.
is it just
Yeah.
these 2 or is it these also?
The budget is the entire budget.
The clipped one was
The
the
clip one
budget.
is the budget. The one that was in paperclip was just
Like a
for
cheat sheet.
everyone
I
can
need
see.
to, then break it down to where, what is it that you want to put out there, the numbers that you want to put, everything, in other words, police, fire.
1 through 18. That's
Okay, so that's this one here.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
This is a cheat sheet to show you where the changes were from what the finance department did. It tells you
It's a
what
break-
finance
it's a
did on the
breakdown.
right.
All right, so this
Tells you our changes on the
is what you want to present,
Yes, sir.
Yes.
okay? Now, you did make a comment about the trustees, $1,000. You said you wanted to take, you don't want it to be for food.
No, I never was agreeable to that, and we talked about that as a group.
Somebody voted on it.
Okay, yeah, well, I know, I didn't vote for that budget, but anyway. So yes, I want that taken out of the line item because I don't want it to say food only.
So
because
what do you,
we use-
so there will be.
It's an allowance.
Pardon me?
It's an allowance.
So, okay, no, what I'm saying, do you want that out of, is that in here?
It's in, I don't know how it's listed here because
It's on, it's listed in the budget that the Director of Finance gave us on Monday.
No, I'm talking about, is it in what you're saying you want to, it's on page what?
It's not in, no, it's not in,
Yes, it is.
where?
On page 3 of 18, housing and the government.
No, it doesn't say how it's designated.
But
we
it's
removed
still
that.
in there.
Was it the?
I'm
we still-
asking that
Yes,
question.
we still have our budget, we're just not going to use it for food.
Then what are you gonna use it for? You can't, just like the board can't, just like the village can't, you just can't take money and do whatever you want to do with it. It has to be accountable.
The meeting that we had on tonight, it
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Back and forth with that.
Wow.
Trustee Coleman had
You just want to take over.
So it was agreed that the language on those line items for that $1,000, you would bring allowance. And it was clearly stated that you do not use it for any political type of support or whatever. It was stated though that trustees wanted to donate some of those funds to an event that would be taking place, that you would be able to do that.
Just like when, Mr. Mayor, just like when Habitat for Humanity was coming out during the weekends and improving the parks. And I used my community development money to purchase hot dogs and
But you almost
hamburgers.
see anything wrong with that.
What?
That you cutting a budget because you.
We have to work within the community, Mr. Mayor. I mean, I use my money for my community events, a lot of my own money.
When you first became a trustee, did you have an allowance?
When I first became a trustee, I believe we did. We always had a budget. I don't see why not, Mr. Mayor. You had a budget when you were a trustee.
No, I didn't.
When you had Parks and Recreation, you didn't have a budget?
No, Parks and Recreation is not my budget.
Well, Mr. Mayor, now you're talking about an entirely We
saying,
are active
but you don't have a
trustees.
problem with cutting someone's salary.
So you want to cut our work in the community. You want to cut the little bit of money
But you're cutting.
that we get to work in the community.
Cutting people's salaries.
You want to cut that out.
For what reason do you need it for?
Mr. Mayor, you know, I've been around a long time.
And what do you need it for?
I can go through minutes for meetings from the last 20 years, and I can show you where you've had budgets for your committees.
What committee?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But my point is, Mr. Mayor, why can't the trustees have a budget to work within
Same
the
reason why
community?
you trying to cut somebody's money.
Well, you
because
said you could
feel-
find $400,000, so go find
Because you feel they
it.
don't deserve the money. You feel that they
You
don't
said you can find $400,000. This budget's not being passed tonight. Go find $400,000. That's it.
No, I don't understand. Now, you only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You only have 5 committees. You have 6 committees, whatever.
There's 6. One's a little bit further down. Community development.
Oh,
For whatever reason, it's out of order.
all right, so therefore you want to keep that, but you want to earmark this for whatever you see fit.
Okay, if I want to buy turkeys for the residents, it's the residents' money. If I want to have an event where I'm going to do something in the community, I would like to be able to use the village money to do that. The village taxpayers deserve that.
Really?
Yes, sir. The village taxpayers deserve to be treated every once in a while, to whatever the event might be. Okay? And I've used my money very well. And yes, I have treated Habitat for Humanity, and because you were there, sir, the very first time they did the park.
I don't think that.
And you were well aware of what we were doing.
If you're cutting, let's cut across the board. Let's cut everything.
You're going to cut your salary too, sir?
I don't care.
Okay, how much you want to cut your salary, sir? I'll match
My
you.
salary is nothing.
Neither is mine. I get $6,500 a year. I get $6,500 a year. I'll take whatever percentage you want to cut off your salary. I'll match it.
I have no problem.
I'll match it.
But my salary.
Tell me what percent you want off your salary. I got you.
I don't have no problem.
I'll take it right off.
But if you want to cut, let's cut across the board. Let's cut across, but you won't cut your. That's why you had this meeting here. So you have enough
Excuse me,
salary.
excuse me, Chuck.
So I'm
Excuse
just,
me.
I'm
Excuse
still,
me. If we're not gonna cut.
I am still not.
Trustee Williams.
Back to what I was trying
Please,
to,
Trustee Williams.
Trustee Burns, back to what I was trying to say. You did, so this is what you want to present to the people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's all I've asked. That's all I need to know.
Yeah.
However it is, and however it looks, obviously you don't care. So, okay, anything else? We don't need to talk about anything. If this, you said this is what you want to present to the people.
That is correct, Mayor.
Okay, that's it.
Did you want to say something?
Came to that what? Okay. All right, anything else? All right,
Yes, we have a trustee.
Mr. Mayor,
trustee.
this budget that we're presenting, it may need some altering, but at the same time, people should earn what they work for. And if the salary was set at a particular grade when they came, however, you're saying, let's cut across the board. I don't have a budget in my committee, so if you want to take my $1,000, I don't care, because I raise my own money anyway. So if that's what we have to do to make this budget balanced, I don't have a problem with that. I can't speak for the other trustees, I can only speak for me. So cutting across the board is fine, just like we're having this back and forth now, we should be able to do that all the time, but we don't. We're only having this discussion now because we disagree. We should be able to sit down with you as a group and come to some type of understanding with the finance director as what needs to be done for this village. We don't do that. So we're always going to be able to disagree with numbers. That's all I have to say.
Now, as far as,
Trustee,
yes?
I see sometimes you feel,
Well, I was talking.
no, you weren't, she
Before-
was.
Yeah, but then.
But you just start right after she gets through.
Oh,
I'm
because
still running the meeting, trustee.
you asked everyone to.
No, I didn't
give me
ask
up.
everyone nothing.
You said to
No, I did
anyone
not.
else. Yes,
But you
did.
talked like 5 times. So can I give
Okay.
can I give other trustees a chance to say
Absolutely. Did anyone else raise their hand? I
something? Didn't
did.
anybody else? I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Okay, Mayor.
What is wrong with you, Madam Clerk? What's wrong? What is wrong with you? Trustee, do you have anything to say? Trustee Cobb, do you have anything to say? Okay, so then what? I was asking about, did you let me finish this, Madam Clerk, please? Please, I was talking about the agenda right now. I didn't get to public comment. When it gets to that point, I will say that. Oh, I'm so stupid. Really, I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid. But you're okay. All right. Oh, baby, oh my goodness. Okay, so then that's what I just wanted to make sure what it is that you have, what you guys have. This is what it is. These different pages. Okay. So what you presented here, so we make sure that it's correct, is what you want to present and have put in the newspaper, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. All right. And then I guess after 10 days, we have a public hearing. Then after the public hearing, then we'll vote.
That is correct.
Okay. Now, at this time, I'll ask for public comment. Can somebody put a mic up there? Really special. No. Anybody? I need to do what? Okay. Is there any public comment? Okay. I'll go around this way for any final comments. I'll start with Trustee Sapp. Trustee Burns.
Yes, I do have a comment. We had a really great meeting here yesterday for the Restorative Justice Community Court yesterday, and I want to make sure that is on record.
Madam Trustee, this is
special
public
meeting.
comment on agenda items only.
Yes,
That's not an agenda item. Yesterday is not an agenda item. This is a special
budget.
meeting. This is a special meeting that had nothing to do with yesterday.
all right. So again, I think that the trustees did a fantastic job trying to balance our budget. I'm glad that we finally have gotten here. It's been a long road, a long time. Can't wait to get to the new budget. so that we can get, again, the artists and things moving. To thank everyone, the mayor, the trustees, the clerk, for your assistance and helping us to get to where we are right now, to be able to present this to the public. Whew. This is one thing off of our plates, and we can move into our next project. So thank you everyone for all of your hard, dedicated work. Thank you.
Trustee Coleman?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I was listening to you being very adamant about us cutting people's salaries, and we're looking at a budget that's 8 months old, 10 months old, with a deficit reflected. So maybe it wasn't salaries were cut, maybe it's a deficit or raises that were given that we knew not of. Maybe the budget is reflecting the deficit that's already in place, and maybe people were getting raises and we didn't know anything about them. So we're trying to balance the budget. So with that being said, I'm just, the budget is pretty much, or the proposed budget, reflecting $1 million deficit. Maybe it's telling the story of what's already taken place. And maybe we've been over, or maybe the village has been overspending without the approval of the board. So maybe. That's all I have to say.
Trustee Ware?
Thank you.
I would like to challenge every department head to cut their budget. We've done that before also, like a 10%. There can be some cuts made. We have been running at a deficit for too long. We've got to stop moving money back and forth like that. It may appear that we're cutting salaries, we're not. Not giving raises is something that's been done before. We've done furlough days, we have done actually laying people off. We don't want to lay people off and we don't want to do furlough days. However, there's been a lot of people coming in and out, getting salaries that the board's not aware of and that we had not approved, and that practice needs to stop. The board is the one that is supposed to allocate and approve the salaries. And that would be a lot less contentious if we didn't do that. And you mentioned something before, Mr. Mayor, that something about would they have to pay the money back if their salary was less than what it already is? By the same token, Mr. Mayor, if they were to get those raises, is the retro allowed inside the budget? Because what you're saying is that if we give raises 10 months in to so many people, we would have to give the retro for those last 10 months and then move forward in the next 2 months. And I didn't see anywhere where retro was allocated for proposed raises. So I think it's just easier, since we're in the 10th month of the budget, to just move along, close this budget out, and before you know it, we'll be right back to the table for the next budget discussion. And I hope it doesn't take, I know it's not going to take 10 months, because I hope we have somebody in place that can actually get the budget done without taking 10 months to get it done. And that's all I have. We're not trying to be contentious. We're looking out for the best for the residents. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Trustee Carter? Trustee Johnson? Okay. All right, I will pass this along, and this will be put out there. Yes. When you start cutting people's salary, you start changing the climate of any job. But if that's what you feel that you want to do, by whatever way you want, that's what you have to live by. It's the only thing about when you have a job at the at government, you have to live by whatever someone tells you that you have to do. That's why a lot of the jobs don't, or people don't work for the government. But you can call it any way you want. When you get less money than what you were getting, that's cutting your salary. And the budget did state, and it was stated at the budget hearing, that the raises were put into the budget. So, but anyway, you're right. You do vote the money out. However way you want, however way you look at it, you do vote it out, but it's just, I don't like playing with people's money when it comes to their livelihood. So that's just the way I look at it. That's the way I stand on it. So, as you stated before, move along, you know, it seems to me though that you're trying to break something up, but that's okay. Because I know if I had a job and I went to work and I was making $10 an hour and I came back the next day, I'm making $9 an hour because someone felt that they needed to balance a budget, you know, that's not a good look. But then again, that's me. So that being said, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn. The move by Trustee Williams, second by Trustee Coleman. Madam Clerk, would you please call and roll? We had new people to come in that weren't here at the very beginning.
Trustee Carter? Trustee Coleman?
Here.
Yes. Trustee Johnson? Yes. Trustee Sapp? Yes. Trustee Williams? Yes. Trustee Warren? Yes.
Motion carried. Good night.